We get a lot of clients that come into us and say, hey, I want more new patients, but I want this particular type of patients. What we've found is it doesn't really matter if the reviews are good or bad as long as you have them. You've got to have new reviews coming in almost on a daily or weekly basis. Google likes to see more people investing their time talking about your practice. It's so well optimized for your phone. I mean, you can just tap and call them immediately. You can tap and message them. It's just really built for it.
Welcome to the Dental Marketing Podcast, a podcast that helps dentists win in the online world of modern-day marketing. Each week, we cover the most cutting-edge marketing tactics and strategies that are working right now across our client base to drive leads, phone calls, and more new patients for dentists. Now, here's your host and founder of KickStart Dental Marketing, Chris Pistorius.
Hey everyone, welcome to the No BS Dental Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Pistorius, and on this show, we talk about straight to the point, no BS, tactics, tricks, and strategies to help you grow your dental practice. Now, there's no fluff here. It's just great information that you can start using immediately, as in like today, to help increase your bottom line. So if you're a dental practice owner, a manager, or really whoever, just be sure to click on the subscribe button on this page so that you can be updated whenever we launch a new episode. And today I'm going to talk about something very important that every dental practice should really think about, at least when they're going to market their dental practice or they're looking to bring in more new patients, and especially those patients that are what we would consider quality patients. And what I mean by that is that we get a lot of clients that come into us and say, hey, I want more new patients, but I want this particular type of patients. And so that's where we try to really differ ourselves from the competition. Since we're a boutique agency, we only take on a certain number of new clients every year, and we only work with one client in every market. So we're able to take our time and make sure we get just the right type of patients that our clients want. But you got to make sure that you know what kind of patients you want, first of all, right? Do you want Medicaid? Do you want Medicare? Do you want fee for service? Do you want somebody that's got a lot of cash? Do you want somebody that's got a lot of issues? Do you want more of the general cases? So you just got to really know and understand what it is that you want. But there is one place that I always talk about and I always recommend to people about how to get these quality patients with a little bit of work. You don't even have to spend money to do this as long as you have the time and you're willing to learn how to do it. And what I'm talking about is Google Maps marketing. This has taken a few different names over the years. It's called Google Maps by some, Google My Business. The most recent and official name for it is called Google Business Places. And I'll show you an example of this in a second, but it's essentially local, area on the Google SERP. When I say SERP, I'm sorry, it's search engine results page. So this is a particularly important place to be and a place to be found very high up because it's like, I'm going to date myself here a little bit, it's like the new Yellow Pages. I just did a podcast on just some kind of the old school of Yellow Pages and direct mail and stuff like that. But what I'm talking about today is the new Yellow Pages. And there's a reason for that. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about just really quickly. I'm sure everybody's seen it. Once they see it, they'll be like, oh yeah, because you looked for a plumber or an HVAC guy or somebody like that. So let me show you what I'm talking about here.
Are you looking to grow your practice but are a little unclear on what the best way is? Let us help you out. We have over 13 years of experience in helping practices just like yours increase new patient growth. Just go to kickstartdental.com and sign up for a free strategy session where we will give you some great insights on how to take your practice to the next level.
So this is it. So this is like if I did a search for Dentist San Diego. So the way this maps section, and this is what I'm talking about right here. You got the map next to it, and you've got 3 local listings right here. Okay. The only way that this pops up when you do a search is if you add a geo modifier. And that's like if you put a city, a state, a zip code, whatever it may be, that will trigger this Google Business Places section to pop up on Google by using a geo modifier. So this is what I call really the money box for dentists, because this is where overwhelmingly number of our clients' new patient leads come from. This is the new Yellow Pages. And why it's the new Yellow Pages is because you get more information here. I mean, a lot of people will skip the paid ads. This is a local service ad because it's a license verified by Google. That's a whole whole nother episode that I've done you can take a look at. And then these are regular Google ads that everybody's probably heard of. These are ads, and basically pay every time somebody clicks for these, and you pay for every time you get a lead with Google local service ads. Nothing wrong with these, but they will never perform as well as good organic placement here in Google Places. Sometimes you'll even see an ad pop up here, and that's part of the Google Ads program. So if you do a Google Ads program and you let them know that you're a local dental practice or orthodontist, whatever it may be, your ad will sometimes show up based on the keyword in this Places section as well. But the organic section, where it doesn't say this is an ad or sponsored or anything, this performs extremely well. Now, we found that obviously the higher up on the list you can get, the better, like Mesa Dental, right? Because it's like with the old Yellow Pages, there was like AAA plumbing. And the reason they did 3 A's is because they would show up first according to the alphabet. Well, that's nowhere near how Google Business works here, or Google Maps or Google Places or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty complex. It has to do with SEO and how you rank there. And there's over 100 different ranking factors that we use to get our clients to show up here. But the reason why it's like the Yellow Pages is because you can get all kinds of information here. You know, I can see a picture of their practice. I can see how many reviews they have. I can see their address. I can see where they're located on a map over here. I can see even their latest review that came in from somebody. And if I click on it, it opens up what's called a knowledge panel, and it shows me even more about it because I can see more pictures on the practice. Is this a safe, clean place to go? Right? I can get directions. I can save it. I can call them right here from my computer if I was set up to be able to do that. Again, the address, their hours of operation. We can go to their website from there. We can read all their reviews, any Q&A. So anyway, there's tons of information you can get here that you, quite frankly, can't get anywhere else on a Google page. And that's why it's more like the Yellow Pages. You just get more information from it. More people trust it, and more people use it. That's the big thing here. So going back, this is the money box. If you can rank highly here, you'll do very well. This keyword is Dentist San Diego. Now, you may not want to show up if I put in affordable dentist San Diego, right? Depending on what kind of practice you are. If you're higher end and you do implants and you make a ton of money, that's awesome. But you definitely don't really want to show up when people type in affordable, because you're going to get a lot of those bad leads, right, that I was talking about. So this is a great way to get quality leads, because you can run your campaigns on this with SEO based off specific keywords. And so when we do this, we go into your website, we publish a lot of content around specific types of keywords for your ideal patient. So it works really well. Now, I want to give you some proof on what I mean by this gets the best results for us. This is our internal call tracking system, okay, that we use here at KickStart. And I've got it set to show me all phone calls that have come in. Now, this doesn't include text messages that we track, or it doesn't any instant chat, like online chat type messaging, okay, or any forms that are filled out. None of that's included in this. But this is for, today is May the 7th. This is for this year so far. So January 1st through May 7th. So these are all the calls that have come in, okay, by source. Now, these aren't all the sources. There's more to it. But GMB is Google My Business, Google Places, what we just looked at, Google Maps, basically. Google Organic is essentially, this is the Maps section. Organic are all these listings underneath it, not the paid ads, but just normal kind of website listings, okay? That's what organic is. Google Ads are paid ads that we have for our clients, and direct means somebody found your website directly. Google doesn't have a really good explanation for this, like what direct traffic really is, so I'm not really 100% confident on it. And then GBP is also Google Maps. It's just the new name of it. So we went from Google My Business to Google Business Places. So you can see that just in these few months, we've had almost 40,000, well, actually we've had about 40,000 new patient leads come into our clients from Google My Business. And you can see that the next closest is the regular organic, but it's not even half, right? And then Google Ads do pretty well for us as well. But like I said, these will never perform as well as somewhere else. And if we really expanded the list, you'd see Facebook ads come in. Facebook ads don't really generate phone calls, though. They generate more like form fill outs and things like that. So that's why you don't see that in some of the other marketing sources that we use as well. But this is the proof. I mean, this is not even close. That just goes to be said that if you can rank highly in this Google Places section, you're going to do pretty well for the right keywords. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily have to rank in the top 3. It's preferred because sometimes people are anxious and they assume, and this is what's scary, they assume that the top dentist here is the best dentist. right? It's that whole perception as reality sometimes. Unfortunately, sometimes we've got to play that game. So even though Mesa Dental, they could be great. I don't know them. Even though they rank high, that does not mean they're the best dentist. So I'm just telling people that now. It doesn't mean you have to be the top 3. The higher up you are, the more percentage of clicks and calls you're going to get. But if you click more places here, as a lot of people do, you see a couple ads do pop up here, right? But it's very clear that those are ads and they won't get as many clicks as like Mesa here, who's not advertising. But there's a lot of other choices here that people can scroll through. So you don't have to be number 1, but you better be in the top 5 to 6, because after that, people won't always keep going, if you know what I mean. There was a study done not long ago that 90% of people don't go past the first page of Google. So take that for what it's worth. But anyway, that's how important it is, and that's the proof of how important it is. This is real data. So I want to talk about that today. Hi, I'm back. All right. So that's where we are. So we know it's important. I showed you the proof of it. It's all right there. You know what it is now. It's not something that you can call up Google or go to Google's website and say, all right, I want to rank number 2 for San Diego dentist. You have to do it using SEO, search engine optimization. And that means doing work on your website, doing work on backlinking, which is like getting links from other websites to your website, doing a lot of content, getting it published, building authority and trust with Google. That's really the high level overview of how you get ranked there. This is a huge play for visibility for your practice, like we talked about. You'll get tons of good quality leads there. It's high user intent as well. So what I mean by that is that people have their credit cards out when they use this. They're ready to buy, bottom line. There's no messing around with it. They're typing in keywords like, I need dental implants. How much do dental implants cost? I need an emergency dentist. Things like that. So they're ready to go versus a medium that might be not as hot, if you will. So like Facebook and Instagram ads, for instance. We do really well with our clients for that, but it's a different audience because think about it. Google, somebody's typing in high intent keywords and that's where we're getting you to show up, right? But Facebook, we can't target based on keywords. You target based on demographics. So if we want a 25 to 34-year-old female with 2.5 kids and a golden retriever, that's how we target them. But that doesn't mean that they're always ready to buy. It's just we're showing our ad. It's more like branding, if you will. Right? So it's a different audience. It can work really well, don't get me wrong, but Google Ads, high intent user, you'll get more conversions from it, a higher conversion percentage from it than you will Facebook ads. This has a direct correlation Google places with your business listing on Google. And this is another way that you can get your ranking there. So every practice has a free profile that Google gives you. They typically do profile for the practice itself, and then it will do individual doctor listings as well. My advice is don't optimize the doctor listing ones. Optimize the practice ones. You want the practice to show up, not necessarily the individual doctors. Okay, so make sure that you have that profile, take an ownership of it, and you can do that going to googlebusinessplaces.com, I believe it is, or just do a search on Google for Google Business Places, and they'll show you how to verify your listing, and then you've got to go in and optimize it. Okay, so we do this all the time for our clients. There's a ton there. I mean, you got to fill out a business description, your services, hours of operation. There's quite a bit to it. You know, it's probably not something you want to sit down and try to do in one shot. But just remember with this, content is king for Google Business Places. The more good content that you can put in there and original content, don't have AI do it. Don't copy it from another practice. I've seen that happen a lot. Put in good original content into this stuff. That is what will separate you from your competition. Because trust me, there's 100 other dentists maybe in your market that are looking to get in those same positions on Google. Okay, so make sure you take ownership of your listing, you optimize it, put in the business description, add photos of the inside, the outside, your practice. There's a lot of stuff there that you can add to it. Okay. Now, another impact with how you rank on Google Business Places, are reviews. Okay. Do you have a lot of reviews? Okay. Do you not have a lot of reviews? What we've found is it doesn't really matter if the reviews are good or bad as long as you have them. Now, obviously, everybody wants a majority of good reviews. Okay. But you need to have good, solid reviews, meaning you got to have a good number of them. And it's not good enough just to have, say, all right, I got to 100 reviews. That's awesome. You've got to have new reviews coming in almost on a daily or weekly basis. Google likes to see more people investing their time talking about your practice. I will also say that every review that comes in, you have the chance to respond to. you need to respond to every one of those reviews. So when we do review marketing for our clients, our team, once we get notified when a new review comes in, we'll immediately respond to that with a human, with natural, somebody, hey, Bobby, thanks so much for your review. It was great working with you, something like that. Respond to every one of those. The algorithm with Google likes that. They see that you're participating in your business. People like that because they took the time to leave you a review, and they get notified when you leave a response. So they feel validated by that. And also people who don't know you are reading those, and they're seeing that you're taking the time to make those reviews. I just did a podcast. Go check our website about online reviews. It'll talk about all this in way more detail. But ratings and reviews have an impact. Get consistent reviews, bottom line. Optimizing your website for local search or Google Business Places search is very similar to how you do it for a big national company or something like that, but there are some caveats. I'm not going to go through those because it really doesn't matter. You own a dental practice, you're not worried about ranking your practice in San Diego and New York City and Vermont and all these other places. You want it to rank usually within a 5 to 10 mile radius of your practice. So that's what you really want to be able to focus on. Mobile, it's hugely big. So what I mean by that is most people that are using a mobile device, our clients, probably 60 to 70% of all their website traffic now come from a phone, a mobile device, or a tablet, mostly a device like this. Google Business Places, it's really perfectly positioned for the mobile app because when you do a search on Google on this device and you type in Dentist San Diego or whatever you want to do, it's so well optimized for your phone. I mean, you can just tap and call them immediately. You can tap and message them. It's just really built for it. So you've got to really make sure that your website, all of your other digital assets are really mobile optimized. So if they click right from Google Business Places and go to your website, you better have a good mobile optimized website or they'll just leave and go to the next person on the list. So you got to really make sure that you've got that mobile optimization going on. Now let's talk about cost effectiveness. If you or somebody you hire can get you listed in the Google Business Places section, it will literally save you thousands of dollars of marketing dollars, like advertising, like paid dollars, and it will make you potentially millions of dollars, depending on what you're doing and where you are over the years. This will take you a little bit of time if you're not already ranking there. If you find somebody who really knows what they're doing with this stuff, it might take anywhere from 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 months to get you on that top 3. It just depends what market you're in and how much competition there is and how good your website is and your mobile website, what ranking or what SEO you've done to this point. But once it does hit that, it'll make up for, months of work because Google ads, for instance, can cost, like in San Diego, if you're doing implants or, decent sized practice, you better be spending $2,000 to $4,000 a month, just ad budget, just the ads to get your share, your piece of the pie on Google. So if you start showing up organically, it's going to outperform the ads as you saw on my screen, and you don't have to pay for that $2,000 to $4,000 budget. So multiply that by 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you can see how those savings multiply. So there's a huge cost savings and effectiveness for organically ranking. Now, what we typically do is, since it does take a little bit of time, is that we'll start out, with the SEO campaign, we'll start building it out, but we will start with Google ads as well, and sometimes local service ads, and sometimes Facebook ads, depending on how aggressive and what our budget looks like from our client, right? And the reason we do that is because we can have those ad campaigns running in just a few days. So we can start getting some revenue and some new patients in the door while we're waiting for the SEO campaign to kick in, right? And then once the SEO campaign's kicking in, we can go in more of a maintenance program where we don't have to do as many or any paid ads. It just kind of depends what the client wants to do at that point. We do like to use paid ads in the beginning to offset the time it takes for the SEO rankings on Google Maps to. I think that, I'm going to end it with this is, and I'm not telling you to do this because it's technically a guideline against what Google does. I'm just going to tell you what I see. We don't do this for our clients, but it's something that you can do that could boost you up. So like if you're like number 6 or 7 now for the keyword you want to rank for, it could boost you up into the top 3. Just kind of depends on your market. But when you go into your Google business profile, you'll see a title, and it's supposed to be your business name. Google wants you to only use your business names. So if it's Bright Now Dental, that's all you're supposed to be able to put in there. Now, what some people will do is they'll put in dentist in whatever city, comma, and then they'll put their business name. Well, dentist in San Diego, right, is technically a keyword. It will boost you up if you put a keyword into that title. Again, I do not recommend doing this. It goes against Google's rules, if you will, but I do know of practices and other business that have done it, and it's worked really well. We do not do that for our clients because we don't want to put them in any danger of getting spanked by Google, if you will. But it is one way to expedite your result if you're willing to risk that. So there's a lot of tips and tricks out there that you can Google and find stuff on YouTube. I just say be careful with it because some of it may work, but it probably will only work temporarily, and Google will catch on to you and they'll penalize you and you might not ever be seen on Google again. So you don't want that, okay? So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I just wanted to make sure that you know how effective it is. I wanted to show you some proof from somebody that's been in business for 15 years using this. I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to do it. If you have any questions on it, and you don't have to buy a single thing from my company. If you just want some advice on your practice, some free advice, just go to my website, kickstartdental.com, do a free strategy session. Those are all done with me personally. I'll be more than happy to give you some free advice. And if you do need some help with it and you want to hire us to help you with it, that's something we can certainly do as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate you listening or watching or however you're getting our episode today. But if you do like this and you want more information like this, please do hit that subscribe button. That way you are notified as soon as a new episode drops. So we look forward to seeing everybody on the next episode. Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Dental Marketing Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.kickstartdental.com/podcast, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Spotify, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you are ready to grow your practice, then you might want to schedule a free strategy session with us. Just go to kickstartdental.com and click the free strategy session button and give us 15 minutes of your time to change your practice forever. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. And thanks for listening to the Dental Marketing Podcast by Kickstart Dental Marketing, where dentists go to win online.